नमस्ते। सत श्री अकाल जी। गुड मॉर्निंग। सलाम अलैकुम। डियर फ्रेंड्स, आज का दिन और ये महीना भारतीय सांस्कृतिक इतिहास में एक ऐसा महान दिन जिसमें हमारी आत्मा को आजाद कराने वाले महापुरुष पीरो मुर्शिद, वो गॉड, वो अल्लाह, वो राम इस धरती पे आए, जिन्होंने हमें सच के साथ जोड़ा और सच्चा सौदा करना सिखाया। जैसा कि हमारे सभी बहन भाई, विद्यार्थी, विद्वान, विदुषियां, शासक, प्रशासक और भी अलग अलग विभागों से संबंधित जो भी गणमान्य व्यक्ति और व्यक्तित्व सुन रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं, वो जानते हैं कि वो सच्चा सौदा जो श्री गुरु नानक देव जी महाराज जैसे इस धरती पे जन्म अवतार धारण करते हैं 1469 में, तो पूरी देश और दुनिया के अंदर वो सच के महासागर, वो सच के महास्रोत, वो सच की बुलंदियों को छूने वाले और वो सच की गहराइयों को जानने वाले, वो सच के विस्तार जो इस धरती पे आए और जिन्होंने हम भाइयों को, बहनों को, सबको भारत की मूल संस्कृति से जोड़ने के लिए, भारत की जमीनी संस्कृति से जोड़ने के लिए अनेक कर्तव्य, करिश्मे दिखाए। बहन प्रकृति के अंदर ऐसे परिवर्तनों को, ऐसे बदलावों को होता हुआ बाहर भी महसूस करते हैं और इस जिस्मानी शरीर में भी उन परिवर्तनों का आभास होता है। ऐसा परिवर्तनशीलता की धारा का संगम, ऐसा विभिन्नताओं, अनेकताओं, विविधताओं का संगम जो एकता के सूत्र से बंधा हुआ हो। जैसे एक बागवान अलग अलग प्रकार के फूलों को लगाता है, पौधों को लगाता है, सजाता है, फूल चाहे अलग अलग रंग के हैं, अलग अलग साइज, शेप, फिगर उनका अलग अलग है, लेकिन इसके बावजूद उनको लगाने वाला हाथ वही होता है। जैसे कुम्हार उसी मिट्टी से बर्तन भी तैयार करता है, मूर्तियां बनाता है और उसी मिट्टी से वो एक शैतान की मूर्ति भी बनाता है, लेकिन बनती उन्हीं हाथों से है, बनाने वाला उसको एक ही है। प्रयोग करने के तरीके, उसके कौशल अलग अलग हो जाते हैं। तो भारत का जो मूल, सभी धर्मों का मूल, सभी जातियों, भाषाओं और अनेकताओं का संगम, ये सच्चा सौदा श्री गुरु नानक देव जी महाराज जब धरती पे आते हैं तब से ही प्राकृतिक रूप से दुनिया के अंदर प्रकट हो जाता है, जिसकी एडमायरेशन, एप्रिशिएशन जितनी हम गाएं उतनी ही कम है। और दूसरा, इसी सच्चे सौदे के रिक्रिएटर, शहंशाहों के शहंशाह शाह मस्ताना बलोचिस्तानी जी 1948 में भारत में फिर से पुनर्जीवित करने के लिए हम बहनों, भाइयों, बच्चों, बूढ़ों, जवानों फिर से पुनर्जीवित करने के लिए आते हैं। अवतार धारण करने के बाद जहां जहां भी, जब जब भी, जिस जिस तरफ भी वे अपनी नजर घुमाते हैं, कदम टिकाते हैं, ऐसे स्थान, ऐसा समय पूजनीय, सम्माननीय, आदरणीय बनता चला जाता है। और ये भारत की भूमि पूरे विश्व में विश्व गुरु कहलाने वाली भूमि, ये और भी ज्यादा अति शोभनीय हो जाती है। तो भाइयों बहनों, आज हम उसी की महिमा गा रहे हैं। सिखिज्म, इंडिया, भारत, 15th सेंचुरी एडी। इस समय को 15th सेंचुरी कहा जाएगा क्योंकि ये बेप्रवाह के बेप्रवाह श्री गुरु नानक देव जी महाराज, जिनका जन्म 1469 में हुआ था। Sikhism is a minority religion in India, followed by people called Sikhs, majority of whom live in Punjab, a northern state of India, founded in the 15th century AD. Sikhism emphasizes on unity of God and service to humanity based on the concept of universal brotherhood. Sikhism is followed by a section of people called the Sikhs. Originally in India's northern region between the rivers Indus and the Gangas. As per one official definition, Sikhs are those who believe in the 10 Sikh Gurus and the sacred scripture Guru Granth Sahib. Succession of these 10 Sikh Gurus lived and preached during a brief and recent period of about 2.5 centuries between 1469 and 1708 AD, with Nanak as the founding guru. The word Sikh is derived from Sanskrit word Shishya, meaning discipline, disciple of gurus, who treads on Bhakti Marg, the route advocated in Sikhism for salvation. It can also be said to be the noun for the Hindi language verb Sikhna, which means to learn, and as such, a Sikh is one who is a perpetual learner. Originally, Sikhs were a small community from Hindu and Muslim backgrounds who became followers of founder Nanak and were initially called Nanak Panthis, meaning followers of Nanak ways. Later, Arjun, the fifth Guru, established Sikhism as a distinct religion and compiled the writings of the previous four Gurus. His own compositions as well as those of some Hindu and Muslim saints. Rising popularity of this fifth Guru and the resulting growth of Sikhism made the Mughal rulers as well as some Hindu leaders of those times uncomfortable. The Guru was arrested and tortured to death and thus became the first martyr in Sikh history. Founders Sikhism in its initial form was founded by Nanak, the first among a succession of 10 Gurus. Although it formally got termed as Sikhism later, a distinct was provided by the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh, with the creation of the Khalsa in 1699. Nanak was the founder and the first Guru in a succession of 10 Gurus in Sikhism. He appeared on the Indian socio-religious scene at a time when there was considerable animosity prevailing between Hindu and the Muslims. Born in a small village called Talwandi Rai Poeki, later renamed Nankana, Nanak learned several languages as well as accounting. He started working, but his favorite activity was meditation. Nanak got married and had two sons, but his father found Nanak's indulgence in meditation and aimless wandering quite disturbing. His elder married sister named Nanki took him with her to Sultanpur to work as an accountant with a Muslim chieftain, but his desire to abandon worldly activities remained strong. Joined by a reback playing Muslim named Mardana, Nanak left his job as well as his sister's house and started community singing of hymns composed by him with music lent by Mardana. During these wanderings and at the age of 30 years, Nanak had a divine experience while bathing in a stream. He disappeared under water and reached the realm of God, who told him that Nanak was a manifestation of God Himself and should preach mankind how to pray and praise in the name of God, do charity, ceremonial cleaning of the body, service and prayer. After missing for 3 full days, Nanak returned, and the first thing he told people who had gathered there in awe was that there is no Hindu, no Muslim, meaning all are equal in God's eyes. From then on, Nanak, accompanied by Mardana, was always on the move, preaching people according to Sikh tradition. Nanak undertook 4 major tours in 4 different directions, up to Assam in the east, up to Ceylon, present day Sri Lanka, in the south, up to Makkah in the west, and extensively in the Punjab region in the north, where he preached the masses in accordance with God's directive to him by way of singing the hymns he composed. He also drew inspiration from teachings of Muslims, Sufis and saints, as well as Hindu saints who had earlier treated the path of devotion towards God. Nanak finally settled down in Kartarpur, living with his close friend and followers for the first time. He died in 1539 at the age of 70 years. Before Guru Nanak passed away, he had appointed his successor, the second Guru, in one of his followers named Lena, renamed Angad, who in turn and before dying appointed his disciple Amar Das as the third Guru. followed by a succession of 7 more gurus. It was the fifth Guru Arjun who provided a sacred scripture, the Adi Granth, after his martyrdom in 1606 AD. His son Har Gobind became the sixth Guru. He introduced the concept of Miri and Piri, combining temporal and spiritual authority. By the times of Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th Master Sikhism, the 10th Master Sikhs were transformed into a powerful society naming themselves Khalsa. He was later assassinated by Mughal hirelings. Earlier, all his 4 sons had died. Before his own death, he had made a declaration about terminating the system of succession of human gurus and had directed the fraternity to look for no new guru but the sacred scripture, the Adi Granth, earlier compiled by the fifth Guru Arjun and enshrined in the Golden Temple at Amritsar since 1604, be considered as symbolic of all the 10 Gurus. Guru Gobind Singh declared it as the Guru eternal, the ultimate authority on all matters relating to Sikh religion. Basic teachings and philosophy. All Sikhs follow one path, wiping out religious differences such as caste system of the Hindu way of life, where feelings of superiority and inferiority exist. Sikhism teaches about the importance of devotion to God and service to humanity with a feeling of universal brotherhood. Nanak, the founder, rejected Hindu asceticism and promoted the new found religion for the householder Grahast Dharam. Through company of holy men, Sadh Sangat, and importance of a Guru, he propagated community hymns, singing kirtan, and listening of this singing by the common folk, particularly during the delightful early morning hours, Amrit Vela. Concept of God and universe according to Sikh tradition. There is one eternal entity called Paramatma, and that there is only one universal religion, which is love and good deeds put in practice. Hell or heaven, as assumed by humankind, both exist here only and not in any other realm. One can enjoy heavenly bliss by leading a life of love and compassion, or experience hell by living a life of lust, greed, anger, and ego. The six scriptures. Granth Sahib is a compilation of hymns composed by Sikh gurus and some other Hindu and Muslim saints. This scripture is addressed as Guru because when the practice of succession of human gurus was discontinued by Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th and the last human guru, it was declared that from that time onwards, Adi Granth, original name of the scripture, be looked after upon as the eternal Guru, and it came to be addressed as Guru Granth Sahib. Standardized version of the Guru Granth Sahib has 1430 pages containing 5,871 hymns which are arranged according to rag notes and sequenced by the order of succession of the Guru who composed those hymns. Beautiful composition of mystical poems by Nanak named Japji is sung by Sikhs at daybreak and Sohila in the evenings. The Adi Granth reflects a strong social current of those times, that is, ridding people of the ritualism prevailing in mainstream Hinduism and highlighting monotheism and emphasizing on the importance of devotion. It may be interesting to note here that this holy text uses names of several Hindu gods as well as the name of Allah, God's name in Islam. Wherever reference to God is made, underlying the all-encompassing character of this faith, Guru Arjan is understood to have dictated the text of this scripture to a scholar named Gurdas and got the first manuscript made. Later, it was given its final form by Guru Gobind, the 10th Guru. Granth Sahib is kept on a raised platform under a canopy and is covered with richly embroidered in Gurudwaras where a Granthi reads it aloud and a volunteer remains in perpetual attendance, waving fly-whisk. The original Granth installed in the Golden Temple at Amritsar in 1604 AD is believed, according to one view, to be in possession of descendants of Guru Hargobind, the sixth Guru, and is known as Kartarpur Bir. No Sikh ceremony is regarded complete unless the Holy Granth is a witness to that ceremony. Growth of Sikhism. Till the time of the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh coming on the scene, Sikhs had remained rather pacifist. Guru Gobind Singh transformed the Sikh fraternity into a militant one, naming it Khalsa. This transformation was announced dramatically before a congregation of some 80,000 Sikhs who had assembled on the Vaisakhi, traditional New Year Day of 1699 AD, by asking for the heads of 5 Sikhs as a ceremonial sacrifice. One by one, 5 volunteers came forward and Guru Gobind Singh took them behind the stage, every time returning with blood dripping from his sword. he beheaded 5 gods instead. These 5 men were declared as the Panj Pyaras, the 5 beloved ones. After this dramatic event, there was a great becoming a Khalsa. People were initiated by way of administering sweetened water, Amrit, from a common bowl. All were made to swear to observe 5 vows about always carrying 5 items, all starting with alphabet K as follows. It keep unshaven hair case to facilitate tidiness of the hair, to keep a calm kangha, to wear soldiers breeches kacha, to wear on the right wrist a steel bracelet kada, and to carry a sabri kirpan, to alleviate to alliterate caste system. All the followers of Sikhism were asked to bear a common surname Singh, meaning lion in case of men, and Kaur meaning princess in case of women. Thus, those who followed the vows of the Khalsa as prescribed above constituted the order of the Khalsa. However, there are others who follow the Sikh way of life and believe in the Sikh scripture without belief. In the 19th century, Sikhism, like other societies, had reform movements like Nirankari and Namdhari, both attempting to prevent demands like Nirankari and Namdhari. Movements like Nirankari and Namdhari, both attempting to prevent degenerations of Sikh tradition. Nirankar meaning formless God. Movement as started by Baba Dayal, who was born in Peshawar in present-day Pakistan in 1783. He worked especially for reviving of purity of Sikh traditions for ceremonies like marriages and funerals, discounting the related Brahmin superstitions. Namdhari movement started by Baba Balak Singh, born in 1799, was also aimed at arriving purity and glory of Sikhs. He advocated simple living, abstaining from meat and alcohol, refraining from taking dowry or alms, and giving a tenth of earnings to charity. Reciting Lord's name, Nam, hence Namdhari, is an important practice among Namdharis. A recent movement, 1920 to 25 AD, in the name of Akalis, meaning eternal one, started, which aimed at bringing purity and reforms in Gurudwaras, which influenced social and religious lives of Sikhs under the influence of a larger movement of non-cooperation against the British in the country. The movement widened and resulted in two-pronged struggle directed against the hereditary custodians of Sikh Gurudwaras on the one hand and the powerful British government in the Punjab on the other. Earlier, 4 years after the death of Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th and the last human Guru, one Banda Bahadur, who had been designated as the community leader, led a militant confrontation against Muslim administration in the Punjab region. Although Banda himself was captured and executed, a certain momentum had gained for Sikh militancy against Muslim rulers, and it continued unabated. The constituted guerrilla groups of fighters missiles continued troubling Mughal administration in Punjab through attacks in difficult terrain of the jungle and mountains. Surprise was their best weapon. These Sikh guerrilla fighters had gained substantially, and by the middle of the 18th century, much of the northern region of India the river between the rivers Indus and the Gangas came under their control. Leader of one such group of fighters was the famed Ranjit Singh, who became king of this region called Punjab. Later he defeated several smaller chiefs in the vicinity, including some Afghans and Kashmiris, extending his kingdom to the Indo-China borders and the Sindh. Within a decade of Ranjit Singh's death in 1839, this kingdom collapsed, and the British, who had established themselves well in much of India, annexed the Sikh kingdom to their empire, preceded by a succession of battles between 1845 and 1849. The British helped Sikhs in keeping their distinct identity by way of observance of Khalsa traditions among Sikhs in their services. But after the independence of India, such a support vanished, and quite a few among the younger Sikhs started abandoning the age-old Khalsa traditions, leaving the elders worried about dangers to Sikh traditions. Mainly concentrated in Punjab, the northern India state, and numbering over 24 million in total, Sikhs are spread all over the globe, significantly in the UK, Canada, and the US. Dear friends, today on this auspicious occasion, Guru Parab, all of you are many congratulations. The Guru Parab falls on the full moon day of Kartik, October to November, and is celebrated to commemorate the birth of Guru Nanak, the founder Guru of Sikhism. Dear friends, as you know that the birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev, the first Guru of the Sikhs, is celebrated with great fervor on the full moon day of Kartika. Guru Parab, also known as Jyototsava, is one of the most sacred festivals of the Sikhs. Guru Nanak was born in 1469 at Talwandi, about 45 kilometers away from Lahore, now known as Nankana Sahib. At Nankana Sahib there is a beautiful Gurudwara and a holy tank or Sarovar. On Guru Parab, a grand fair and festival is held here, and Sikhs in thousands congregate here from India and abroad. Guru Granth Sahib, the holy scripture, is continuously read and recited in the Gurudwaras, Akhand Path, all over the country. Lamps are lighted, processions are taken out, Free langars, community meals are arranged, and prasad, holy food, is distributed. Pandals are set up in various places and prasad is distributed. Guru Parab celebrations at the Golden Temple in Amritsar, Punjab are impressive. Nanak was a great reformer, teacher, and a saint. In Sikhism, he tried to harmonize both Hinduism and Islam. He never believed in caste distinctions and liberalized social practices. He preached the significance of God. For him, faith in God was a potent means of spiritual realization. He believed that a persistent remembrance of God will help us to develop the best in us. A true Sikh strives not for salvation or paradise, but always loves to see God. Many of Nanak's hymns, which form part of the Guru Granth Sahib, reflect clearly how the sight of God and His love itself is supreme. Sikhs were to be distinguished by their name, always with the suffix sing, means lion, and by the 5 Ks, uncut hair case, kangha, and steel bangles on the right wrist, kada, short drawers, kacha, and daggers, kirpan. God is both Nirgun and Sagun. Before creation, God lived absolutely Nirgun, but then he became Sagun and manifested himself and became God or the Almighty. And in order to realize himself, he made nature, which is his main abode and is diffused everywhere and in all directions in the form of love. Nanak travelled widely in India and abroad, and his life writings have been a great source of inspiration. 9 after human followed him in succession, under whom gradually developed. Finally, the Guru Sahib was declared as the eternal was not only the founder of the Sikh religion, he was also a great poet, philosopher, humanist, and a powerful social reformer, a teacher of mankind. Nanak said that one need not become a sannyasi, sacrificing one's family life to please God. Those who practice devotion, whose minds are pure, and who have sympathy, patience, and honesty are in no way inferior to a sannyasi. He considered that all human beings were high born, no one was low. On the day of Guru Parab, the holy scripture Guru Granth Sahib is continuously read and recited in the Gurudwaras. True worship consists in singing God's praises, in meditating on His name, and so also are all pilgrimages and ascetical practices like fasting and celibacy. God is the Supreme Guru, Satnam Vaheguru. The 10 Gurus are revered because God spoke through them. The festival is observed with great enthusiasm all over India. Similarly, other Gurus are also commemorated on other Guru Parab days. For example, the other Guru Parab commemorating Guru Gobind Singh is celebrated in the month of Posh January.
Pre-sweets and langars
Our community lunches are also offered to everyone irrespective of one's religious faith. Men, women, children participate in Kar Seva as service to the community by participating in activities to cook food and distribute it in the Guru Ka Langar with the traditional Kada Prasad. Procession. The day marks the culmination of Prabhat Fairies. The day marks the culmination of Prabhat Fairies, the early morning processions that start from the Gurudwaras and then go around localities singing Shabad hymns. On the day of the festival, the Granth Sahib is also carried in a procession on a float decorated with flowers throughout the village or city. Five armed guards who request the Panj Pyaras lead the procession carrying Nishan Sahib, the Sikh flag. Local band playing religious music form a special part of the procession. Prabhat Fairy. A few days before Guru Parab, people take out Prabhat Fairies or the early morning processions from the Gurudwaras. They go around their locality singing Shabad or the religious hymns. Langar. Later in the day, special kirtans are arranged in the Gurudwaras. The devotees attend langar or the community meals where everyone eats the same food irrespective of caste or creed. Devotees offer their services for cooking food, cleaning the Gurudwara or carrying out other chores. This is called the Kar Seva. Illumination. In the evening, the Gurudwaras are illuminated and people visit them in large numbers. People also illuminate their homes with candles and earthen lamps. Dear friends, brothers and sisters, those observing, examining, and evaluating the truth behind the meditation, how our soul can reunite with the eternal super spiritual power of God, which is the true aim and ambition of our
everyone's life. So that can be possible only by the repetition of the holy words that we listen, speak, write in the different religious places of our nation in India and abroad. Our learners, scholars, those who are busy in doing research in the different universities of Cambridge, Oxford, Atlanta, Harvard, Pennsylvania, Edinburgh, all over the world, you are listening and you are find out
and
to research on the self-confidence for maintaining the spiritual values.
our nation, dear
As you know that our India is one of the greatest nation, is known
as unity in diversity. It is full of adversities, varieties. Today, all of you are observing oceanic change, bottom to top, root to fruit, first to in
nature. How is weather today?
everyone can observe, examine, and evaluate
The natural
is also the exposition and appearance of the God's presence, Lord's presence, who He is, who He was, and who He will in past, present, and future. omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, Almighty Lord or God, who does exist with us in the form of air, fire, soil, sky, and water, even where there is the absence of air, fire, soil, sky, and water, God does exist, and our social reformists,
Vivekananda, who went to the US in 1893, he kept telling people that our India does
believe in the existence of Lord even at lightless
and soundless.
places. So return to the Vedas, return to the
Nature, return to the past, return to your childhood. This returning and the power of in these are really praiseworthy, admirable from
Indian
the
scriptures.
point of view. May God bless all of us. Thank you. Dhanyavad. Shukriya. Dhanwad. May God bless all of us.